Hey everybody, welcome to another home workout, live recorded from Rex's gym, where everybody's a legend and we all support the Timberwolves. Today, we're gonna have a fun workout based on last week's Friday's workout. Changed it up slightly. Probably gonna be some more work than you did last Friday. It's gonna be a little bit more work than I did last Friday. That's what we're here for. Work, 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 work. Without further ado, let's get into it. Why wait? Get those knees up. Now, again, no dog, no cat in sight as of yet. They are too comfortable, too cozy. However, if you are doing the Zoom workout later on today at 6 p.m., I reckon Daisy will be there. I think usually that's when she's active, well-ish. She has been fed, so hard to motivate her. But she's usually keen to have a little bit of a chat when it's not 7 a.m. in the morning. I don't know. Weird dog. Weird dog. All right, Cradle Walks. Now we've got a couple of new warm-up movements today as well, guys. Based on the great book Original Strength by Tim Anderson. If you haven't read it, you should definitely do so. So let's see how you feel after the warm-up and if you should keep those movements in your general warm-ups. All right, hinges. Warm those hamstrings up. Now, I know you guys are all super excited about the Hindu push-up. Whoa! Everybody really loved it last week. Ha! Well, I'm excited about the Hindu push-up. So what are you gonna do about that? Some lunges. Just get that movement back in the hips. Move through that range of motion. Get that little stretch on the hip flexor, maybe a little bit of quad as well. As we know, my quads are tight, so this is great sort of warm-up stuff for me. All right, then we go into some rocking. So I want knees on the ground, not together, a little bit apart. Feet can be flat on the ground, hands on the ground. Chest is up, head is up, looking at the horizon. From there, gonna push your butt back onto your heels. Keep the chest up and the head up. Chest up, head up. What we don't want to do is round. Yeah, we want to keep that proud chest and keep the head up. Just moving through that hip range of motion. Now in this position, we're going to do some head nods. Chin down on the chest and look up. Down on the chest and look up. Your focus here, or your goal, should be to get your face facing up, get it to the ceiling. Now, we're probably not going to get there. I know I'm not. But that's the idea. That should really kind of open up that high upper back to neck region. Then we have some downward dogs. Try to push the heels down into the ground. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and come into a Cobra. Hips down, chest up. Keep the body active. Heels to the ground. And hips down, chest up. I guess you can figure out why we're doing this one. Oh yeah! Let's do one more. All right. Have a quick drink. If you feel like it, I reckon the hoodie can come off. Tie-dye Fridays. Today's workout, yes, that's what we're going to talk about. We have a lot of the same exercises we did last week. So we have our front foot elevated split squat. Again, if you don't have anything to elevate your feet on, why not? Just do regular split squats. Knee comes all the way down to the ground, torso stay nice and upright, drive back up, touch and up. Do all the reps on the right, then do all the reps on the left. You can use a weight if you do have a dumbbell, but I only want you to use one. Yeah? So if your left foot is forward, your right hand will be holding the weight. This is just to add a little bit of core stability. Weight's pulling you that way, so your core has to work to keep you upright. I'm using an 8. Feel free to borrow one of my dumbbells if you want to use a heavier one. Next we have single leg hinge to knee. We did this one last week. We're going to have that hinge. Stay nice and stable if you can. Make sure that knee doesn't roll in, but keep the hip active. Keep looking about 2 meters in front of you and then drive the knee up. I want that knee at least hip height. So if we look from the side, that knee has to be at least where the hip crease is. That is our goal. Now, if you want to make this harder, grab your dumbbell, hold it high against the chest, and go through your hinge to knee that way. Goal, still make the hamstring and glutes do the work. Next up, we have our Hindu push-ups. 3 options that we went through last week. Option 1 is just what we did before. So the downward dog to Cobra. That can be your first option. Second option, dive down, lift up, and then pop the hips back up. Dive down, lift up, pop the hips back up. Third option, the full Hindu push-up. Dive down, lift up, dive down, press up. And then the last exercise that we'll have is the side plank knee up. So we're in the side plank position. Feels like we're doing a bit of side planks this week. Lift the hips up, heels on top of each other, hips on top of each other, shoulders on top of each other. One knee comes up. If you want to make it harder, kick the leg straight, but make sure the rest of your body stays in a good position. Last week, we had a 20-minute AMRAP, and we went to 1 each, 2 each, 3, 4, 5. This week, we're going to start at 10, work our way down to 1. There is no time limit, just finish it. I hope that makes sense. I think it does. I think most of the time it makes sense. But then again, I support the Timberwolves, so some liquid courage. Now, no timer required, so that's good. Without further ado, guys, let's get into it. Front foot elevated split squats, 10 each side. Then we have the single leg hinge to knee, 10 each side. Then we have the Hindu push-up for 10, and then we have the side plank knee raise for 10 each side. We're going to go to 9, we're going to go to 8, we're going to go to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So there's always that one round where you feel like, that made a huge difference. So whether it's from 5 to 4, from 7 to 6, there's going to be one of those rounds going like, that went quick. From there on, it's smooth sailing. Are you ready? Yes, Rex. Fantastic. Let's get into it. I'm even going to give you a countdown. I'm not sure why. 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice and upright. If you're using that weight, don't allow it to pull you out of position. That's a good beginning. Our hinge to knee. Again, if you have the weight, high against the chest. Look 2 meters ahead from you on the ground. Hinge and drive that knee. And other side. Make sure you keep feeling those hamstrings, right? That's our goal. Hamstrings, glutes. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. The Hindu push-ups. Only 10. So much fun. And then we have our side plank knee ups. You can go for a straight leg version if you want, but I'm not. Keep those hips up as high as you can. And switch sides. I'll do the long switch over just so you can keep seeing my pretty face. And 10. All right, now we're 55 reps in total on each exercise or each side. We've just done 10, so we're pretty much a fifth of the way. Almost. So, amazing job. 9 reps of each. This gets easier and easier. Single leg hinge. I know those require a little bit of focus, a little bit of balance, but I'm okay with that. Keep that chest up, guys. Keep looking at one spot. Much easier on the balance. Hindu push-ups. side plank, knee lift. Get those hips off the ground high, and then one knee up. 9 reps. Now, if that's really hard, you can always go down to the kneeling version. Same idea. Nine. 19 reps in of our 55. This is going to be over too soon. Nice and upright. Back knee straight down. Only 8. Single leg hinge. We're all training to be Daniel-san. 8 Hindu push-ups. These gets easier as 1 rep less every time. Man, should have gone up. And 8 of the side planks. Lift the hips up high, hips on top of each other, shoulders on top of each other, and then that knee up. Now both the hip and the core have to work quite hard, which is good because this body is one piece, so everything works together. But if you start feeling it in a weird spot like your knee, something's wrong. Go back to an easier version. All right, round of 7. So for your information, we're almost 10 minutes in, and we are pretty much halfway. Now, what's this blue thing, you ask? That's a fat grip. So you put it on your dumbbell or on your barbell, and it just makes it harder to hold on to. What fun. Just a little bit more work for your grip muscles. And some exercises actually, none that we're doing today, make it a lot easier on the elbows. Those are mainly like pressing exercises and tricep exercises, I found. and those Hindu push-ups. So I'll run you through the options again. Option 1, downward dog to that Cobra position. Downward dog to Cobra. Option 2, do the descent and then pop the hips up. Down, press, and pop the hips. Or the full version, shear that chest over the ground, hips low, chest high, the hips high, chest low. Side plank, knee lifts. I'm starting to warm up. How about you? In a round of 6, you're over halfway. Keep working. And I reckon this is the round. I reckon this is the round where all of a sudden stuff starts feeling, is that all? Or maybe not quite like that, but a little bit more like, that wasn't too bad. Now, try not to have some arbitrary time that you're trying to catch. Just do the movement well. Only reason I say that is I just glanced at the clock and I'm like, oh, under 20 minutes is doable. It's not what this is about. Do it well. Don't worry about going fast. Get the most out of your movements instead of racing them. To the round of 5. And your hinges. Look at the 1 point. Balance tricks. All right, hips on top, shoulders on top. Lift that knee, keep the hips high. start feeling easier yet for you? And those push-ups, they're always tough, no matter what round you're in. Hips up. Finish it off good. No rushing. Do it well. Much more important. 20 years from now, you'll not know what you had on this workout for time, but you'll know if you've been butchering your technique for the previous 20 years. That downward trajectory is so much better than upward. Let's face it. Even with the extra reps, I think last week I got to like the set of 9. This is so much better. Sneaky volume. That's what that is. And then a round of 1. Doable. Doable. Balance rings. And to finish it off, hips. Good. Good, good, good. Nice work, guys. Keep working through until you be done. Now, I'll have a sip. Cheers. So we're going to do some stretching. If you're still working through your exercises, which is absolutely fine, keep going until you're done. Pause the video and then jump into the stretches with us when you're done. All right? Pause. Pause. Good job. Our first stretch. We've done this one. We need a little towel, a band. You can use a piece of clothing if you want to. One hand goes over your head. The hand is going to be in between the shoulder blades. The other hand grabs the towel behind your back and then walk those hands towards each other until you can feel a good stretch. The stretch could be in that triceps. I trained triceps yesterday, and yes, that's where I feel it. But the stretch could also be in that shoulder. I trained shoulders yesterday, so yes, I can feel it there. Big breaths. I like my little tower here. It makes me feel like a real Dutchman. I'm the world's shortest Dutchman, if somebody didn't know. All those cats in the Paralympics, way taller than me. How good have the Paralympics been, guys? I love it. I watch that stuff all day, and I have. Every now and then I have to train, but other than that, I'm there for it. I think the rugby is a pretty cool sport. And switch sides. So take the other hand overhead, then bring this hand back and grab your little towel. Now, as we discussed last time, I don't have much mobility in this right shoulder, so my down hand, because my collarbone was broken and dislocated, and it never got popped back into place. Poor me. Well, actually, I made the decision not to do it because I wanted to lift weights and I didn't want to rest for like 4 weeks. What an idiot. Anyway, I remember years and years ago when I was still living in Holland, my buddy and I, we went to the video store, the Videoland. Now, for those a little bit younger, Videoland is like this place where you can rent videos, and then you have to bring them back like a couple of days later. It's like a library for videos. Now, a video is like a big box that was there before the DVDs. DVDs are things like little discs that was there before Netflix, by the way. Hold for 5 more seconds. So yeah, I went to Videoland and just looking for something to watch. The story will be continued. We're just going to go into our next stretch. Lie down on your side. I want the shoulder, tricep, and elbow on the ground in line with your shoulder. So we're not up here, not down here. We're right smack bang in the middle. Hips stay on top of each other, or the top hip can be forward. And we're going to gently push that hand towards the ground. Don't force it. You're not cage fighting yourself. Just find the tension and then hang out there. Anyway, we found this movie. It's called Murder Ball. And we go like, that sounds cool, Murder Ball. So we kind of half read through the description, because on the back of the box you always had a description of what the movie was about. Yeah. And it's like about this guy who plays this weird game in a wheelchair that, you know, is pretty much American football, but in a wheelchair. And I go, like, that's gotta be a cool movie. So we get to my place, we start watching it. Turns out it's a documentary about wheelchair rugby. And the first like 5 minutes, we were so disappointed. We're going like, come on, we just want to watch the movie. By the end of it, we were so hyped up. We were looking up if we could play Murder Ball in the little town I grew up. There was no Murder Ball scene, by the way, if you were wondering, in Alphen aan den Rijn. That's switch sides. But yeah, that's the introduction that I had to Murder Ball, or wheelchair rugby. Look it up, it's a good documentary. Alright, shoulder, triceps, elbow on the ground, hips on top of each other, or the top hip can be forward, and then gently push into what we call the internal rotation. Now the place of constriction is around the shoulder, really. That's where I want it. If you can feel it pulling through your elbow, something's a little bit off. That's not what we're after here. So anyway, send me a message, guys. What's your favorite Paralympic sport? I haven't seen goalball yet. I want to see goalball. I am enjoying the basketball. Man, that looks tough. I used to play a little bit of wheelchair basketball. Ugh, so hard. A lot harder than regular basketball. Let me tell you. Hold for 10 seconds. All right, next up, something new, guys. We're gonna do some hanging, if you have the option. So I've got this bar here, and all we're gonna do is about 30 seconds of hanging on the bar. So, if you don't have anywhere to hang, sucks to be you. Now, if you don't have anywhere to hang, do the doorway stretch that we've been doing. We'll try to stay as low as you can and get those arms up so you still get that reach up. But other than that, if you do have somewhere to hang, hang there now. If hanging is really tough for you, you can gently put your feet on the ground and just get used to having your weight in your hands. But the idea is just to let those shoulders kind of pulled out of their sockets a little bit. And if you want to, quick pull up to finish. All right, guys, that is it. If nobody has told you yet today, you're a bloody legend, you know that? Well done. I'll talk to you tomorrow.